Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's now time for the one and only The Rich Wilson Show. Yep, and there we are. Really? As soon as I go on, I get a freaking message to set it off. Like, it never fails. It is the craziest thing in the world. Of course, I got a crap load of... I know what it is, too. It's Twitch coming up showing that... So there we go. All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rich Wilson Show. Not a lot tonight because it is Valentine's Day, and I don't want, to be sitting here talking a bunch and having you guys stuck listening to me when... It's, when you guys would rather be, rather doing something out there. Now, I know some of you the single people out there, you're like, I ain't got nothing I got going on. Okay, I get that. You can find something for you to do, though. It's not that, it's not that difficult. Watch a movie to yourself. I have a friend of mine that's been single for the last 8 years. And she literally on Valentine's Day will make herself a dinner and watch a movie. Like tonight, me and my significant other, we're actually going to barbecue a steak, have some stuffed mushrooms and asparagus, and then we're going to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife because I haven't seen it. And after watching some of the reviews, and especially, you'll find out another reason why I was looking into that today, because we do have some sad news. And Valentine's Day, for the modern era, is a happy time and should be a happy time. Even if you're by yourself, do something nice for yourself. But anyhow, we've got news, and we've got to talk about the news because it's Monday and some interesting things have gone on today. And like I said, I'm not going to be very long tonight. Justin Trudeau in the news again. Justin Trudeau today, Canada's Prime Minister, made an announcement that he is enacting what is the equivalent to the United States of America's martial law. Now, it's not quite martial law like we understand it in the United States. Martial law in the United States is they put the entire thing on lockdown, all of it. And basically, martial law, constitutional rights are suspended. His Emergency Powers Act deal that he has gives him authority to bring any services whatsoever he needs to get rid of the protest. I find it funny that we have a peaceful protest going on in Canada. And I'm not going to say mostly peaceful protest like they did last summer. No, this is a peaceful protest going on. And everybody flips shit and loses their minds over this because, oh my God, they're standing up against mask mandates and shit like that, and it's a horrible thing. But yet it's not horrible when people burn whole cities down, loot, riot, and kill people. That's not a problem. But for some reason, a peaceful protest is. Well, he enacted that, which means now, that means now they can use all forms of force to get rid of the protest instead of just simply, all he had to do was simply go talk to him. That's it. That's all they wanted. They wanted him to talk to them. And this whole thing could have been over a while ago. But no, because Trudeau wanted them to get the vaccine like he did to prevent them from getting COVID like he got, because he got it anyway. And the problem is a lot of people that are making these comments on this. Okay, first of all, most of y'all out there never been a truck driver. I can tell you that the only person you risk when you're driving a truck almost 90% of the time is yourself. No one else. Just you. But for some reason, that's a problem. So anyway, we'll see how that goes, and we'll keep an eye on that. I'm not going to dig into it too much because they haven't actually started to do anything yet. And until that happens, then there's not really much to talk about. Once it happens, then we'll cover that. Over the weekend, Hillary Clinton got back in the news again. This time around, the Durham report shows that Hillary Clinton actually did, the Clinton campaign actually did pay for the services of a group to hack into Donald Trump's servers in Trump Tower, and then again while he was the president of the United States in the White House. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that's fucking treason when you're or no, sorry, not treason. That was the wrong word for it. God, I came up with the word earlier today, and now I've totally spaced what word it was that I used. And it was yesterday that I came up with it. But anyway, not treason. God, I wish my other half was watching. She could tell me what it was that I said yesterday. I said you're skirting on espionage. It was espionage. You're skirting on espionage at that point when you are paying another firm to hack into the servers of the White House. Now, for some reason, this woman has a real big problem with servers. I don't get her deal why servers are such a problem for her. Okay, she's just it's a mess. She's has nothing but problems with it. She used to keep classified information on her own private server, which she wasn't supposed to. Then suddenly all this stuff ends up going missing, can't be recovered. Then it gets recovered, then partially, then nobody gives a shit anymore. Then she pays a firm to hack into the servers of the candidate for president, Donald Trump, when his campaign headquarters was out of Trump Towers. Sorry, I'm a little on the thirsty side. And then when he became the president of the United States, was in the White House. And it's like, really? But the thing was, you remember, major media absolutely refused to acknowledge the fact that this was going on. They would not cover it. They said that he was lying. They said he was deranged. In fact, a week ago, they were still saying he was deranged when he brought it up again. But now it's been proven to be true. And you're like, well, that's not... somebody tried to tell me, they're like, oh, that's not true. There's no... They acknowledged it. They said that it was real. No, they didn't.
The biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
I apologize. That I have to go in and do adjustments on these volume settings on these. Let me try this again. Here we go.
The biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
There's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is. No. It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally verified.
No.
It's been, just go down and get the papers. They spied on my campaign, they got caught.
No.
And then they went much further than that.
Yeah,
and
they
got
did.
caught.
He's
and
absolutely
you will see
right.
that, Leslie. And you know that, but you just don't want to put it on the air.
As a matter of fact, I don't know that.
Okay.
And you're out there.
So why don't you get back to your interview and let's go.
He was absolutely correct. He was not wrong in saying that they spied on him in both occasions. One while he was running for office, and two while he was in the White House. Okay, so it's actually true. They did. And like I said, media tried to play it off, and media today is trying to spin it off as, well, you know, we didn't know then, and all the other crap about it. But you want to get to the crux of it, and here's the problem with this. She's not going to go to jail, and nobody's going to do shit about it. That's the problem. Nobody's going to do a damn thing about it. We literally had a candidate for office pay a firm to hack the servers of a opponent in a campaign and then hack the White House after that person had won and became the president. They hacked into the White House servers. And it's nuts. Villian Thor says the White House is officially the most expensive nursing home in America. You're not wrong, because Biden just no reason to. Biden's gone. That's the bad part about it. I feel part of me feels bad for Biden because everybody else is making him be there, and Biden's just checked out. He doesn't know what he's saying half the time. He doesn't remember some of the things he said half the time. Like that, but when it comes to this issue, the bad part is the media is looking dumber and dumber. And the worst part about this is this is not the only incident. They found out that Clinton was the one that Clinton's campaign was the one who paid for the Steele dossier to try and make the Russian collusion case, which that was fake. We spent what, 4 years? 4 years hearing about Russian collusion. 4 fucking years about Russian collusion. And it turned out to be fake. The media wouldn't acknowledge that when that bomb dropped, and now they really ain't talking about this one because nothing's going to happen. I'm sorry, but they're not going to do anything. It's simple, and that's the sad reality of this. You literally had a campaign that committed espionage against its own country, and they will do nothing now. They will literally do nothing about it. Because unfortunately, the people in charge right now don't give a shit. They don't. And that's the sad part. And Valiant Thor, you're not wrong. The White House is turning into the most expensive nursing home in America. We even pay the residents of that nursing home instead of getting any money out of them. I hope for this country that in a couple more years we get a solid candidate, but hell, at the rate we're going, we may not even have an election cycle because we'll be in the middle of a damn war. But let's move on from that. Let's get to the crux of what today is about. Okay, let's talk about today, because I don't want to get into politics today. I really don't. Yeah, we had that come out. We had the Trudeau thing show up today, but and as taxpayers, we're paying for people to have crack pipes and heroin needles now. Donald Trump tried to build a pipe. Joe Biden's trying to give out crack pipes. And the bad part is getting so bad. You realize your administration is fucking up when the Babylon Bee doesn't even have to make up articles anymore for satire. They just can run with the articles that are reality. It's bad. I'm really hoping that come November things are going to start to change and people are going to wake up and stop believing the bullshit that they're being spoon-fed by the media. I really do. Because that's where a lot of this problem has come from, is people buy into this bullshit. I mean, you got the squad running around like Cori Bush saying that they still want to she wants to completely get rid of the police. She wants the police abolished. Now you got the Speaker of the House sitting there going, well, that's not the stance of the Democrats, but that's a Democrat, and you need to get up and tell that Democrat to shut the fuck up, because that's not going to work and we're not going to support that. But they won't. They won't do it. And like I said, and you are correct, America was founded by geniuses, but it's only being run by idiots. Yeah. It's kind of like, how many people have seen, what was it, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? When he went and met the mom of the kicker, And the guy's sitting there talking to him, and he's trying to talk to her, and he's like, "Do you not understand? The light's on, but nobody's home." "What do you mean?" "The engine's running, but nobody's behind the wheel." Which is one of my favorite things, and I say that all the time. You know, when somebody's that stupid, I turn around, look at it, and go, "You know, the engine's running, but nobody's behind the wheel." And it's sad. But let's move to a lighter note. Let's move to something a little better to talk about. And that's today. Today is Valentine's Day. Now, how many of you out there actually know the origins of Valentine's? Now, I've run into a couple. The problem is, I looked up and researched, and the thing that you run into nowadays, here's another problem I'm having out there. So I understand that Valentine's Day it comes from, and I'm going to botch the name of this holiday, but it comes in its origins from Luperina. Lupercina. It's a pagan holiday, and it's supposed to mark the beginning of the fertility for planting crops and having children. Okay, it marks the beginning of that, and of course, the festival, the fire festival, and the which is Beltane, which happens later on in May, is different. But the problem is, I'm starting to find on these websites where you start to look at the origin of things, where there's a pagan origins in some of these things, and now they're spoken from hatred. So I didn't get a video of that side of it. This video from that I'm going to play for you on the histories and origins of Valentine's Day, and a lot of stuff you probably didn't know. Hell, some of it I didn't know. Does mention the pagan holiday. So it's a good little video. It's not very long. It's 8 minutes. But it's good. It's good little learning, little piece, so you understand where it comes from. And this is Valentine's Day and I once again I got this from the History Channel. All right, so there you go. So now you got some of the origins of Valentine's Day. They didn't go into a lot of details. There's of course, there's the argument between Christianity and pagans over the origins of it. The pagans' documentation predates Christianity's recording of the beginning of that time. Originally, it was the Pope had stated that they were going to martyr Saint Valentino, who did the marriages of people under the in secret, so that men could still get married to their wives that were in the Roman army. And Rome caught him, beheaded him. And so the Catholic Church decided to make him a saint. And that's where that came from. There's a couple stories on Saint Valentino. But of course, like I said, they covered the pagan ritual of it, where the actual ritual is they go to the cave and then they slaughter goats and dogs, and they take the hides of the goats and they go around smacking women with them to make them fertile. And the women would actually line up to get hit. It wasn't like they were chased and it was against their will. They were lining up in the streets to get smacked because it was supposed to make them fertile. Then later on that evening, there would be a pot where they took all the single men and the single women, and they put all the single women's names in a pot, and the guys would go by and pick out a name, and that's the girl they got for the night. And there would be these sexual games that went on for the next several days, and a lot of times it ended up leading into marriage. A lot of them would end up getting married to the one that they picked the name out of. So, that's Valentine's Day. But unfortunately today, what it's turned into is a headache, because it's, as much as first of all, you shouldn't need a day to profess your love to another. And you should do that every day. If you have somebody, you know, you should tell them that you love them every day. You should let them know that you love them every day. Shouldn't take one day out of the year. But they've commercialized it, and they put out advertisement in such a way that makes you feel like you have to do certain things on this day and spend certain amounts of money on this day. And they really commercialize it, like every jewelry store puts their jewelry on sale, and flowers are on sale, chocolate, and everything else. And today I would like to say that, ladies, there's going to be a lot of ladies tonight that are going to get proposed to in the strip club industry from wayward soldiers who were single and went out and, you know, went to the strip clubs tonight. And there's going to be a lot of these strippers that are going to get proposed to tonight. Valentine's Day, I remember being in the service and having to deal with it. Valentine's Day was always the one where you would always have to deal with, like, the next day, the hungover private who was upset because the stripper told him no. And he went out and spent money on her. It's crazy. So it's just one of those things. I mean, if you and your spouse enjoy Valentine's Day, and you or your significant other, and you enjoy Valentine's Day, and you take part in all the chocolates and the flowers and the cards and all that, if you enjoy that, then go for it. If it makes you smile, I'm all for it. If it makes you happy. You know, most of the time I'm working my ass off and completely broke, so I don't usually get to do much for Valentine's Day. But, you know, like I said, if you and your other like to take part in that holiday, by all means, enjoy. Have a great time with it. Now for the next part. This next story is, and this is where we're going to end our show tonight. Let me tell you about Ivan Reitman. We found out that this weekend Ivan Reitman passed away in his sleep. And for those of you who don't know who Ivan Reitman was, most people will remember that he was the director of Ghostbusters. And Ghostbusters 2. His son was the one that did Ghostbusters Answer the Call. But Ivan Reitman and Jason came back to do, got together and did Ghostbusters 3 Afterlife. Ivan was a very wonderful and very talented human being. Ivan was very good at being able to spot things and being able to dissect things and being able to find a way to make it understandable to you, and did it in such a cinematic way that made his movies amazing. And unfortunately we lost him this weekend. He was a great guy, and he will truly be missed. And I'm going to play this video for you, and we're going to call this a night. It's 2 minutes. It's a tribute to the man, the legend, Ivan Reitman. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and have yourselves a happy Valentine's Day.
Ivan Reitman was the man behind some of Hollywood's most iconic films over the past 4 decades.
That's the fact, Jack!
Producing his first major picture, National Lampoon's Animal House, in 1978.
You guys up for a toga party? Toga!
Only a year later making his directorial debut, leading Bill Murray in his first starring role in Meatballs.
Type of light. Okay. Yeah, for now, but if you don't win, we cut it off.
But it was Ghostbusters which made him a household name.
What happened? Are you okay? He slimed me.
The film jump-starting a supernatural franchise.
Get me the Ghostbusters! You don't
He would also go on to helm Twins,
Born to be bad.
Dave,
You're a very handsome man. Thank you, Mr. President.
and produce films like Space Jam
You've never seen anything like it.
and Space Jam New Legacy. As well as Up in the Air, directed by his son Jason.
Follow me.
His family saying he taught them to always seek the magic in life.
I always had a sort of sincere approach to the comedy. It's just, I took it seriously, even though it was a horror movie and a comedy. You had to sort of deal with it in a kind of realistic and honest way.